Melissa van Dijk and I'm a makeup artist, and in today's video we are going to talk about the Revlon ColorStay Foundation. And what I wanted to share with you guys in today's video is basically how it performs, what I like about it, what I do not like about it, and also a general tutorial on how you can apply it and also what the finish will look like, so that you can also create your own opinion about the finish itself. So when it's about the foundation itself, I'm in the shade 150 Buff, and this is the normal to dry foundation range. I know that they have also a combination to oily range, but I didn't want to pick it just because I have a combination skin, but it's a bit more towards the drier side than the oilier side. So my T-zone can get oily, but not a lot, so that's why I just wanted to give it a go with this one. And this foundation is also very popular, so I wanted to share my thoughts on the foundation as well with you guys. So because it's a drugstore product, it also will retail for around $15, depends on where you're getting it, of course. But what we are now going to do is we're going to apply it. So first I just want to make sure that I have my hair out of my face so that it's not annoying me a lot. And then I also would recommend you either can apply the foundation with a foundation brush or also with a damp sponge. So it's totally up to you what you prefer. If you can't really get rid of any stripes and lines because of the brush, then go with the sponge, otherwise you just can go with either. It just will give you the same finish. Now for me personally, I like to use the sponge, doesn't matter in what situation or whatsoever, just because it applies much easier and also much quicker, and I just wanted to save some time. So when it comes to the foundation, make sure that when you're getting the foundation that you're giving it a good shake, which is really important because you never know for how long it was staying and sitting there on the shelf. Just that you are able to get the full and also the right formula, that the ingredients are mixed. So I'm going to use it on a mixing palette. Of course you can also use it on the back of your hand, it's totally up to you. That's what the shade looks like, and it has also a bit of a smell, but it's not really strong, so just make sure that you're applying it evenly afterwards. So I'm just going to take the sponge, digging into the foundation, and then I'm going to start buffing it onto my skin. So as you saw before, I have some redness going on, I have also some breakouts, so we will see together on also how you can work with breakouts and also with any discoloration on your face. And I just wanted to share with you how I personally also like to use it on myself as daily foundation application. And that's why I'm also going to use a sponge rather than a brush, just because that's my personal preference. I mean, if you want to use a brush, go for it. Now, when it comes to the foundation itself, you will think that because it's for normal to dry, that it will give you more a dewy finish. But when you're applying it, it kind of sets itself. You don't have to use a lot of setting powder later on, because it's just going to kind of dry, not really dry that you will see any dry patches, because my cheek area is pretty dry and it won't show any dry patches. It's just that you don't really need to worry later on about that it's moving a lot. Of course you can use some setting powder afterwards or setting spray as you like, but when it comes to the foundation, on how it feels and also sets, it's just going to set pretty quick. Which doesn't mean that you can't go over it, it's still buildable, which I personally do enjoy, because sometimes if a foundation sets itself pretty quick, then you normally don't want to touch it anymore, because then you're going to rip off just slide off the first layer. But with this one, I didn't have any experience with it. You just can build it up very nicely, which I really enjoy. So just going in when it comes to the forehead area as well. And you can basically apply this one as you want. I would say it has a medium to full coverage, depends on how you're layering it. I'm just going to stick with one layer, but I'm just going to build it up later on when it comes to my breakout area, just to show you that it won't move around. And I mean, I've been living here in the tropics, so I've tested it out for days and days just to see if it's long lasting or not, and I had no problems with it. So it won't crease in any strange areas around the nose or my mouth lines or under my eyes. It didn't really move. Of course, I have to say I set it with just a tiny bit of setting powder, and it just was really nice and long lasting, and I didn't have to care about it the whole day. So for me personally, it definitely does what it says. It says that it's long wearing, and for my skin type, this foundation range is beautiful. So now when it comes to the breakouts, which are right here and here, I like to give it not a couple of minutes, but a little bit to let it set and kind of dry. And then I'm going back in and I'm taking the sponge on the very tip. And what I like to do is I'm just going on top of it. So like this part right here, you still can see the redness through just because I used one layer. And I'm going on top of it. And the redness will disappear. Of course, you can't really hide the bump if you have breakouts, but you are able to just get rid of the redness. And then I'm going to set this one like even more, let it set even more, and then you can always build it up. And that's what I mostly like to do with this foundation, is that it's very easy to build up. You can also spot, not really conceal because you're not using the concealer, but you just can use the foundation on certain areas where you need a bit more coverage, and it will blend in beautifully with the first or second layer that you used. So that's one thing that I really enjoy with this foundation. So now that everything is basically done and I have blended in everything, also my breakout area, I haven't used any concealer yet, so this would be my next step. But because this is all about the foundation, I just wanted to give you a very close-up and also a very detailed video about the foundation. So as you can see, it gives me a bit of luminosity, like not really dewy, that it looks kind of wet. So for a drier to normal skin type foundation, I'm really surprised that it won't show off any dry patches on my face, because I'm pretty dry when it comes to the outer part of my face. But then when it comes to the midsection where I can get a bit more oily, then it also will mattify it, because it kind of is a mattifying foundation for dry to normal skin, which I'm really impressed with, because it's very similar for me personally from what I experienced with it when it comes to the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Just that this one, the normal to dry, is not dewy, and when it comes to the Maybelline foundation for dry skin, this is a dewy foundation, and then you have for oily skin types you have the mattifying foundation. So I'm really impressed that it gives me such a nice finish, even though I have more of a drier combination skin. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you guys. When it comes to the shade range, they have a pretty a lot of shades, so you definitely will find it. If you feel like there's an undertone that's a bit too yellowish or too pinkish for your undertone that you have, then don't be afraid to just mix and match it. So if you're at the store, just take a few pumps of each, try to match it, and then also use it on your chin area, like jawline area, and just make sure that you're comparing it in natural lighting, which is really important. And then also for the other side, if you have an oily skin, you just do the same thing. Now my review is specific for the foundation when it comes to the normal to dry. I haven't tried out the other one just because it's not really my skin type region, but I just can't think of any negative points other than it's kind of drying from itself. So that's, if you don't like that feeling, or if you don't like that the foundation sets itself, then this might be not a product for you, but you still can go over with some setting spray or setting powder and you're good. What I also just wanted to share with you guys is that if you feel like a product will break you out, just make sure that you're for sure, or that you know for sure, that it's the product and not the food that you're eating. Because I've been struggling with breakouts now from my teenage age to now, and I still have them. They always told me that it would stop when I'm getting older, but I still have breakouts. And I've noticed that sometimes a product can break me out, but not all the time. Like maybe 1 of 100 products that I'm trying, just that you have an idea of. And then 99% of it is because of food. If I eat chocolate, if I eat a lot of sugar, I will break out just from what I'm eating. So it has nothing to do with the products that I'm applying. So make sure that if you're testing out a product, that you're also having a look to what you're eating. And if you see that it's getting better with the diet that you've changed, then it's not a product. If it won't change, then it is the product. I know it will take a lot of time to find this out, but trust me, it's worth it, because with my breakouts it's getting better the more I'm just keeping an eye on what I'm eating and also of the product that I'm using. And I'm just see how it goes and also how you personally feel also about it. Now this is one thing that I wanted to point out, because I know that loads of people are struggling and also blaming the product on it or blaming like food on it. So just try to find that balance. It takes some time. I'm not perfect yet because I still get some breakouts. So I just wanted to put this out to you as well, so that you maybe can think about it and see how you're doing with it. And yeah, just wanted to share this with you guys as well. So when it comes to the foundation, I love it. I love the Revlon ColorStay Foundation. It's amazing, and for me it's kind of like very similar to the Maybelline foundation. So if you're subscribed to my channel, then you know that I can't live without my Maybelline Fit Me foundation, but this one is pretty close to it and I can't decide which one is better, so I would say it's equal. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!